Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Manitoba Start is the leading provider of career services to newcomers in the province of Manitoba and connects businesses to world-class workforce. I would like to welcome you all to the Spotlight webinar, a series of live broadcasted events designed to assist you in entering the Manitoba labor market. Manitoba Star acknowledges that we are gathered on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabe, Dakota Oyate, Denisovan, and Nehethowuk nations, and the homeland of the Red River Métis. We acknowledge that our water is sourced from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation. As a newcomer organization, we commit to learning about the histories, cultures, and rights of the Indigenous communities to strive to build a respectful and supportive relationship for all. Today's webinar is focusing on the Bioscience Association Manitoba. My name is Medina, and I'm currently project coordinator for diversity, equity, and inclusion here at Manitoba Start, and I will be your host for today's webinar. Now, given a large number of participants who joined this webinar, we have muted your microphone to allow for better clarity and less interference. Before we begin, I'll go over a few housekeeping items. At the end of the presentation portion, there will be a Q&A time for you to ask questions. To ask questions, you can either raise your hand, use the raise hand feature to indicate that you have a question or comment. To do this, you can click on the participants button in the meeting controls, find the raise hand icon next to your name, and click on it. This will notify us that you have raised your hand. Team Webinars provides Q&A feature as well that allows attendees to ask questions, specifically in the Q&A panel. To access this, click on the More Options, the three dots button in the meeting controls, and select Q&A. You can then type your questions in the Q&A panel. As I mentioned, today's webinar is with Bioscience Association Manitoba. As the voice of Manitoba's bioscience community, BAM works to support and grow the province's vibrant life science sector, connecting companies, researchers, and innovators to foster a strong, globally competitive industry. With a membership representing health, biotechnology, agricultural biotechnology, and clean biotechnology, BAM plays a critical role in advancing Manitoba's economy and promoting cutting-edge discoveries. So please welcome Andrea to the webinar.
Wonderful. Thank you, Medina, for the wonderful, warm introduction. It's wonderful to see a great turnout for today. As was mentioned, my name is Andrea Ladisser, and I have the privilege of being the president and CEO for the Bioscience Association of Manitoba. So at a high level, we're an industry association. We support the advancement of growth of these technologies and these companies and the use of them. And we support workforce development opportunities. And I'm really pleased today to be here and share a little bit more, and happy to answer any questions you might have and see if there's maybe a connection for you here. So with that, I'll get started. I'd also like to start with a, yeah, sure. Hang on, I just realized I'm not sharing. Bear with me. There we go. I'd also like to start with a land acknowledgement. At BAM, we really partner as much as we can and explore the opportunity of reconciliation and opportunities for all. So I'd like to acknowledge also that we're on the original lands of the Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Oji-Cree, the Dakota, the Dene people, and the homeland of the Red River Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that were made on these territories, and we acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we dedicate ourselves through our work and otherwise to move forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in the spirit of reconciliation. We see the strength, beauty, and the pride of all Indigenous peoples, and we commit to continue to seek the understandings of harms that were done and still being done today. We all have a role to play in healing dreaming, and building a bright future for all. And we're grateful that the past attempts to eliminate Indigenous people, culture, traditions, and knowledge were not successful, as they are bright, beautiful, and very much respected. And with that, I'll get started with our presentation. So, what is bioscience? We use a very simple line. If you can imagine healing, feeding, and fueling the world, it's all rooted in science. And so, if we look at how we treat cancer today versus 10 years ago, that science, that innovation that helped us better understand cancer, its diagnosis, the treatment of it, the prevention even of it now. And same with agriculture. How we feed our world today is greatly different than what we used to do. As we have a growing population, we expect higher quality in our food, we want better predictability, better certainty on our investment in crops that they produce great yields. And same with fueling the world. We look at clean technologies as, feel like the fuel efficiency of a car today versus, 10 and 20, 30 years ago, it's vastly different. We talk about battery technology, bacteria and waste management, and also alternative fuels as well. So making sure that we're able to have some of these comfortable pieces of our life, but making sure that we reduce the harm and protect our resources as well. The next slide I have here is a video that we built here at BAM. And again, it's just another visual representation to kind of show what our sector is and what it includes. So just bear with me while we get this started.
Life-threatening chronic diseases and medical conditions, healthcare shortages, climate change, food insecurity, access to clean water no matter where you live. 1. They're all real challenges we face today. 2. They're all solvable through continuous research and innovation. 3. Their solutions can be found through research and development right here in Manitoba's bioscience industry. Bioscience work in Manitoba is amazing. Tours on. Let's go. Wait, what's bioscience? Bioscience is the study of our living world and its interactions with each other and their environments. Bioscience is all about discovering how life works, using this knowledge to solve problems related to health, agriculture, and nature. Bioscience is driving innovation in medical treatments, agriculture, and understanding environmental impacts. In other words, how we're healing, feeding, and fueling the world, today and tomorrow. In fact, more than 100 Manitoba companies are working in health biotech, ag biotech, and clean biotech to improve lives in Manitoba and beyond. Examples? Lots. We all know we have to get carbon out of the air to address the climate crisis, and fast. Plants do a great job of that by naturally capturing carbon dioxide or CO2 and turning it into oxygen and carbon-rich biomass. But when plant waste goes to landfills, it can release methane, which is a far worse greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. So Manitoba tech company is interrupting that cycle by turning plant waste into this, biochar. Instead of cycling back into the air as methane, the carbon is now safely locked in a stable form for hundreds of thousands of years. And that biochar can be put to work in agriculture, cleaning up mining, or to make stronger cement where that carbon is locked and isn't getting out. Let's talk about ammonia. Ammonia is crucial for agriculture. It's an essential fertilizer for feeding the world. But the production of ammonia is one of the heaviest polluters on the planet. Earth badly needs a green ammonia solution. But in Manitoba, we're working on this, the world's very first green ammonia production system that sets up on-site in containers. That's carbon-free ammonia, and it's produced without fossil fuels, made on the farm right where it's needed. It burns myself on the stove. It doesn't look like much, but if bacteria gets in there, it can create a protective layer for itself called a biofilm, which is sticky, so any other bacteria can also stick on and be protected, and multiply into hundreds, even thousands of layers. Wounds and burns not properly managed can lead to sepsis, amputation, and even death. But soon you'll be able to spray on this breakthrough made in Manitoba innovation. It breaks down the protective biofilm, leaving the bacteria exposed, then kills it. Not just the top layer, but all of them. Manitoba has one of the highest rates of juvenile type 2 diabetes in the world, and First Nations children have a 20 times higher risk for diabetes than other Canadian children. Across northern Manitoba, communities and families are core team members in diabetes research, partnering with clinicians and scientists to improve the wellness of families living with diabetes. And the same collaborative, multidisciplinary approach is leading research right across children's health issues, and it's attracting researchers here from across Canada. Even students are making new advancements. Jasmine Storm is a Master's of Bioscience student at the University of Winnipeg. Hi, Jasmine. She's researching how early life stresses, either before birth or just after, have a long-term impact on the health of babies. Right, Jasmine? Exactly. And how certain components in breast milk might protect against these stressors and could one day become treatments that help babies lead healthier lives. There's more being done and more to come. Way more. The future is here. Come discover it with BAM.
Wonderful. Well, our hope is that gave a little bit more color to the picture of what bioscience contains. And we just had a little bit more on that before we kind of dive into the opportunities. So bioscience, again, we look at it across three themes: health, agriculture, and clean technology. So health and medical technology, agricultural innovation, that could be plant science driven, animal health driven, digital agriculture as well. And then when we think of environmental solutions, that can be biofuels, clean green energy, could be looking at waste management and how do we use, things like bacteria and enzymes to help us with the way we treat our waste, as well as many different ideas. So in Manitoba, it's not well known, but we have such a robust, amazing bioscience sector. The number one export out of Manitoba is medicine. We're closing in on $3 billion in exports. It's twice as big as what we probably would have thought would be the number one spot, which is wheat. And so that's driven for some great big anchor companies, but we really have companies across the whole continuum, from researchers to those that are starting their entrepreneurial journey to great big companies. And you really could have a career at many different places here if bioscience is of interest to you. Over 14,000 employees. Again, the average salary in bioscience is about 20% higher than the provincial average. So again, has great remuneration. And then also, if you're interested in manufacturing side, we have great manufacturers in bioscience. In fact, we have the second largest medicine manufacturer in the country is right here in our province, as well as those that produce vitamins and minerals and other things of that nature. So again, it's a great industry, has lots of opportunity. It continues to grow. We do hear lots of stories of expansion, which again leads to more opportunities for employment. So we wanted to talk a little bit about, a story of change. If we think of diabetes innovation as one of those stories of change. So just imagine if you're a 10-year-old kid on the playground and you're running around playing tag, laughing with your friends, just enjoying a wonderful summer day, but you have type 1 diabetes and your blood sugar starts to drop. Now, in the past, the kid would have stopped playing, would be pulled aside, do a finger prick to test their glucose, and maybe head to indoors to recover, to have a quiet moment, or if things are heading in the wrong direction, we rush to healthcare. It's inconvenient, and there's the opportunity to do better. So today, that same child can be wearing technology, like our little guy in the bottom with the arm patch. And that technology is constantly administering the medicine that they need, driven from the data that's being collected. And that can be ran to a parent's phone, to a healthcare provider's phone, and it's constantly collecting data, which also helps to understand how diabetes type 1 is working within that human and how to better create a good care map for them. So again, this is what this industry is doing. This is the importance of it, and there's so much more to do. And I'm happy to share that with you. So Health Biotech, it's the sector that consists of companies developing and commercializing innovations that allow for early detection of illness and also diseases. Health biotech companies work in the areas of healthy food. So how can we use foods as medicine, healthy ingredients, medicaments, vitamins, minerals, pharmaceuticals, also medical technology, just as we talked about the little boy with diabetes. How can we use technology to help us, whether it's, robotics in surgery or helping to analyze health state at any point in the day? And AI and e-health informatics is a huge one as well. So we wanted to talk a little bit more about some success stories here in the province. And again, a lot of those success stories have helped us revolutionize healthcare. They're offering groundbreaking insights into disease mechanisms, personalized treatments, innovative therapies that were probably once unimaginable. They seemed a little bit too like it's from a movie. It's not real world. But health biotechnology encompasses a wide range of innovations, from the development of life-saving vaccines, gene editing technologies like CRISPR, to emerging biopharmaceuticals and regenerative medicines. These breakthroughs have profoundly transformed the way we understand diagnosis and also treatment. And it's moving into that space where even understanding what treatment looks like for an individual versus producing something that's en masse. But it's not just about advancing the science, it's also about ensuring these innovations are accessible. We have to navigate the complexity of modern healthcare, leverage biotechnology to promote equitable access to health, and also work towards the concept of no one left behind. So again, if you're interested in the health field and you have data analytics or research capacity, there is a space for you. And we just have a little video here about one of our companies just to share a bit more about what that can include.
I'm Stephanie Haverstick. I'm the Senior Vice President in charge of operations for IDC Canada. We have a deep-rooted history here. We have grown our business right from a mail order business right up into being the largest private label manufacturer and contract manufacturer in Canada, which is, and it's a stellar achievement, particularly since nobody knows that we're here. It's actually quite astounding. We manufacture about 2.5 billion tablets every year and package them into 30 million bottles. And all of that goes into around 1,300 separate SKUs or product offerings.
My name is Paul Teixeira, and I am the Senior Director of Human Resources for IBC Bioscience. We have just under 600 employees. The people part of the process is keeping the machinery running, making sure that it's working safely and efficiently, feeding the machinery, making sure the raw materials are going in the correct fashion. There are folks who prepare the raw materials, and there's quite a bit of training that goes into their positions. A lot of us folks have 3 or 6 months of training just to accomplish the basics of their position, to make sure that the raw materials are handled correctly in the right quantities and that everything is fed into the system correctly.
We have an extremely diverse workforce. We have people from the Philippines, Laos, India, South Africa, South America, Canada, of course, as well.
We have people from every part of the world who work here and who are part of the Bioscience family. It's amazing how people from such diverse backgrounds can come together and be so productive and get the amazing work done.
Right. So again, they're here just between St. Boniface and Transcona. They have over 300 employees. So again, it's a great, just one example of an employer. They do both the formulary. So we saw someone there doing lab work all the way through to production side and logistics. So when most people think of working in the bioscience, they picture scientists, laboratories, but the truth is these are companies like any other company. So they need logistics, finance, HR, marketing. They need people within the facility to keep the building running, repair the machinery, all those kinds of things. So there is something for everyone in this sector, although it's rooted in science and innovation. So with that, I wanted to just share that, again, the salary in here is about 20% higher than the average. You can look at this space as either having a stepping stone into something else, or if this is a career path you want to see within the sector in a bioscience company. There's so much depth. We were just meeting with one this morning where, two of the team members have 35 and 40 years of experience, and their whole career happened here in Manitoba with great companies, great opportunities. And there's more being created every day. So just to give some language around what a career might look like, what kind of title it could have, there are research positions. So again, a clinical research associate, assistant, a leader. Again, think of the continuum, lots of different steps in each one. There's a lot of pieces in the regulatory affairs, which might be more with the government side of things, or you can work within a company and that is your specialty to help the company navigate through regulatory pieces. Informatics, data analytics, biostatistician, there's a huge demand right now for more people to understand the information that is either coming out from product development, product discovery, and using that to help refine and improve quality, or even use that data in different ways. So if that's a skill set you have, there's a large demand for that. Medical science liaison. So again, being part of that team that's could either be in the marketing, the commercialization, or meeting with clients to talk about and share what advantage the product has is another one. And of course, back to sort of the lab space, the manufacturing floor, quality assurance, quality control, good manufacturing practices. And we've put the link in there as well if you want to get some more resources on that. But we wanted to share that with you a little bit as to give a peek into what these jobs can look like and what they have. But I really want everyone to think these are companies like any other company, and they have those core principles, those core departments of HR, finance, legal, marketing, customer relations, logistics, as well as the science into their product and their technology. So we are here to support. So we want to support our industries growing, and we want to support people connecting with the industry, especially if that's a career interest for them. So how do we do that? We are a membership organization. So we just put a little bit of information there if you're interested in joining our organization. We do have a lot of programming to help connect people with the bioscience sector. That could be through mentorship, job postings, networking events. Also, we're holding a career expo at the end of October to again help advance the connection between those that are looking for work and those that are needing workers within their facility. It is sort of a battle that we have going on that not a lot of people know about the companies in our sector and that they're right here in the province and they're leaders. So it's a very exciting sector and we're happy to share that message wherever we go. We also have training. And so what we want to do is partner with those that have industry trusted training available to develop either technical or soft skills. And that can be either virtually, so you could do that at home at your own pace. And then we also have stuff that's in person as well. We have career supports as well. So if you're looking at building a career here and you want a little bit more information or connect with someone in industry or good job postings, a lot of our industry posts their jobs through us. So we're a great resource for that as well. The next one I wanted to talk about is the big picture in health. And so for this one, let's see, check out my notes. We wanted to talk about the growth and expansion in this sector. So as we, saw the second largest medicine manufacturer in the country is here in the province, the IVC VitaHealth team, they're generating 3 billion capsules of vitamins and minerals every year. We have a lot of companies that are going through formulation. They're trying to develop their products, so very heavy on the research side. There is a lot of opportunity. And what we've heard from the national statistics is by 2029, 2030, there's going to be basically a vacant job, 4 vacant jobs for every trained person in biosciences. So that means it's becoming the employees market. And so we want to be a part of helping to connect workers with jobs and helping companies connect with workers. So again, really encourage people to have a look if this seems of interest to you. It could be a great place to have your career. And lastly, if you want to be a part of that statement we used at the beginning, healing, feeding, and fueling the world, all of our companies take a slice of that statement and make it their passion and their mission. So it can be really rewarding work as well, where you're either helping create an opportunity to create a medicine and connect it with a patient, or helping us understand how we can grow our food better with less impact on the environment, or discover the next clean technology that helps us live a better way in this world. So it's a very exciting field. It has a great impact statement as well. And we wanted to share towards the end here some training opportunities that are coming up. So the QR code is active it'll link you to our training site. So if you want to take a snap of that, it's the quickest way to connect with us. Or we also have our website at the bottom, biomb.ca. And I'll just touch on a few events we have coming up that may be of interest to the people on this call. The first one is reputational risk and media training. This one is for companies who want to better understand how to handle a media situation when things are great, and then also when we have a hard day as well. So if you're interested in having that as part of your skill set for your new job, we would love to encourage you to explore through the website a little bit more on that one. It's coming up in October. We also have a career expo. And this is also sort of Bioscience 101 Symposium. It's on October 29th. It's at the University of Manitoba Smart Park. The cost for admission is $20, but if you sign up for, if you're a student or an individual membership and you show up, we'll give you a $20 gift card. So again, that's a way to kind of offset the cost of the attendance. But what we have is we're going to have 10 to 15 companies there. They are going to be available to answer any questions about up and coming careers or even postings that they have now. And there'll be some tables set up there. So if you want to have a conversation with someone from that company, you can do so right then and there. And so that's a great way to connect with industry that is seeking workers. The second half of that day is going to be kind of classroom style learning. We've got great industry experts, great HR experts who are going to help talk about resumes, talk about career conversations, interviews, and then also what are some great skills that you should have on your CV to help stand out when you apply for a job for these companies as well. So that's on October 29th. We'd love to see as many people there as possible. It'll be the first time we've done this event, but I think it's going to be great. The next one is, if you're interested, if you think back to that IVC Vita Health video, you saw people creating under the hood, looking at quantities of active pharmaceutical ingredients or getting things ready for packaging or doing some product development. We've partnered with Castle. So this event is going to take place in Prince Edward Island, and we have funding to almost make this a completely free opportunity. But what you will do is there's some online courses that you do before you head out to Prince Edward Island. And they have a facility there that's basically like a factory, small scale, and you're able to test and try your skills and verify your skills in lab. And that's a great thing to take to employers to say that you've had that skills, that training to put on your CV. And also they're connected with industry as well. So it can be a great pathway to a job. The next one we have is the Indigenous Health Innovations Conference. It's called Weaving Traditions and Technologies. It's on November 28th. And we really encourage anyone who is interested in connecting with Indigenous health in some way, shape, or form, or want to learn a little bit more about that, innovation and traditional healings. We have the information there as well. And then we have a lot of bioscience online training that's continuing to be added to our website and continue to be posted. So we have that coming up. So check our website often for more training and skill development and connections with careers on our website, as well as a lot of job postings that are there for you to look at. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that come from the group that is here today. I've also included our info@biomb.ca email. So again, that's our general inbox. Send it in and it'll get assigned to one of our team members to help you with a question or an opportunity or navigating any career conversations that you might have. And lastly, when we open up the floor, I'm going to leave my information there as well. So there's our QR code to follow us on LinkedIn, as well as, again, our website in the bottom right corner. I hope this has been really informative for people. It has created an opportunity to envision what bioscience careers can look like for you. And please don't hesitate reaching out to the BAM team if you have any questions after this presentation. We'd be more than happy to help you on your journey. And thanks again for creating this opportunity for me to connect with you today. I really appreciate it. So I'll hand it back and happy to take any questions.
All right. Thank you, Andrea, for that wonderful presentation. So as I mentioned earlier, you can raise your hand by using the raise hand icon, or you can type your question in the Q&A little portion. And when you raise your hand, I will unmute you, and then you will have to unmute yourself on your end. So is there any questions? All right, we have Amy. Let me just unmute, allow mic. All right, Amy, you can go ahead, unmute yourself.
I think they're still muted. It looks like they're muted on my.
Yes, so they would have to unmute on their end. I just enable the mic. So Amy, you can press the unmute button on your end.
I'm not hearing them if they're.
No, I don't think they're quite getting. You can also type in your question if you're not sure how to unmute yourself. Let's see. So Nidhi Patel typed, so for the job posting and training session, can they see it in their event section?
Yes. So if you go to our website, biomb.ca, in our header, we've got a few different categories. And if you go to events, you'll see a listing of all our up and coming events, including training as well. And that's also where you can register. We've spent some time getting automated, so you can click right through to registration, and also for anything that has a payment piece.
Yes, you can only see select participants can unmute. Yes, so once you raise your hand, I will enable your mic, and at that point you can unmute. So if what was the Slava, if you want to ask a question, I will allow. Now you can unmute yourself and you can ask a question.
No, I only said that because I think this is the reason why Amy can't.
Yes, so I did allow it for them to unmute. I'm not sure what's happening on their end. But I see that they're typing, so let's see.
While they're typing, another one that we have is, again, these are available for free. It's called the BioSkills credentials. So for newcomers and others, if you're wanting to get a Canadian sort of stamp training certificate, it is online. It's run through one of our partners called BioTalent Canada. And it is a way to show sort of a testimony or a testing of bioscience skills. And it gives you sort of a badge out of it, which you can use on LinkedIn, which you get a certificate out of as well. They're about $1,000 a training. And it's both technical and soft skills. So happy to share that with anyone who's interested on that. We're really proud to be able to give that out for free, and love seeing people complete that and use that on their CV to show, some Canadian credentials, if that's something that you're looking for.
Great, thank you. Is there any other questions?
We've got one coming in, being typed.
Yes. All right. So Sandeep, okay, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, reach out to the info at BioMB. There's a question about there. How do I get access to the training that I just mentioned, the kind of online one that gives you a badge or credential? Yes, reach out to BioMB, or sorry, info@biomb.ca, and we'll connect you. Those ones go pretty quickly, so don't delay. Place your call today would be what I would say. And again, it's recognized within industry quite well. So I really encourage that if that's something you're interested in.
Sounds good.
Okay, Emmy's got one. Can I apply for training programs if I'm from another province? It depends on what it is you're looking to do. We do have partnerships with some of our sort of bands in other provinces, so Life Sciences Ontario, Quebec. So if we are not able to offer you training or some of our programming because of your location, we could see what we could do through our partners. A lot of our training is funded by the Manitoba government, and so that's the impetus to have it as for Manitoba, people who are residing in Manitoba. So best to reach out and we'll look at each situation individually.
All right. So I think Sandeep decided to type question. So he wants to know about the agricultural companies within the member list. Do these companies exclusively post job opportunities through your website?
Not exclusively. So again, if you go to biomb.ca, we do have members. So there's About Us, I think it's called. We have our member list in there. So if any of our member companies look of interest to you, we can also try and create a connection. We do manage that on a case-by-case basis. And a lot of them do post their jobs through us. And then we post those jobs on different platforms as well. So exclusively through us, not necessarily, but we try and catch as many as we can.
Thank you. I think Jane is typing. Yes, I do believe recording will be shared. It will be posted on our website under webinars.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Okay, do we have any other questions? No one's typing. Well, while you think about other questions you might ask, I will quickly pull up Manitoba Star website. Under events, this is where you can find all our future events that we conduct either in person or online, like this webinar, and you can register yourself. As you mentioned, or as Andrea mentioned, Bioscience Association, the agricultural biotech will happen on October 6th. If you are newcomer to Winnipeg and are looking for career services supports, or even if you have been here for a while and still need some of that help in finding a new job or finding your first job, I would encourage you all to register with our career services programs, and you can take part in either the workshops, which are virtual or in person, and have a chance to meet with a career coach to work with you to finalize your resume, develop your action plan in terms of your career plan, and get your job search started. Okay, so Nate mentioned in the training section, there's a PDF where lots of training parts are there. So let's assume I want to have training on CAPA. Where should I contact, or who should I contact?
We have an email, training@biomb.ca or the info@biomb.ca. Send your question in. We do have some of that training being planned for the new year. So we're happy to connect you with that. We also have some training that might be available online for that if you're not wanting to wait for the in-person one. So that would be my advice, info@biomb.ca.
All right, so thanks, Chloe, for the email for the training queries. This is where you can redirect your questions in that regard. Any other questions?
Wonderful. Well, reach out anytime. It was a pleasure being here. If this seems like something you're interested in, there's lots of opportunity and we're happy to help wherever we can.
All right. Well, if there's no other questions, I think we'll close off the webinar for today. You have Andrea's contact information. You have the emails for training inquiries. Thank you, Andrea, for your time. And we'll see you in October.
Fabulous. Take care, everyone. It was wonderful to be here.